an extremely quick video. It's a familiar sight, isn't it? This helicopter crash stuff, especially with Kobe. But we're looking at the Iranian president um, and this helicopter crash that happened. Without getting too crazy into what's going on here, I think what we've got is a reverse. This is almost like, gosh, it's almost like a precursor event for the Hoover Dam. Okay, I'll just say it now. It seems like it could be the precursor event for the Hoover Dam. And why I say that is, even if it isn't, I'm going to explain the symbolism anyway, but on what's going on. But it would make sense that we would have to have the death of the man first, going into the dam. Okay, so what's happened here? Okay, apart from the similarity with Kobe's whole thing with the helicopter crash, um, Kobe's obviously was a little bit different with the ritual there. That was the ritual of the black helicopter, the Black Pearl, being destroyed, which then miraculously turned back into a blue and white helicopter upon the sacrificial death of Kobe. Yeah, so the sacrificial death of man to destroy the Black Pearl and to come out of that system, and then the helicopter turned back to blue and white. Okay, but what we've got going on here is the Iranian president was on this helicopter doing a trip to open, to essentially birth a new dam. Okay, so on this trip of birthing a new dam, and the dam represents, of course, again, that represents the Black Pearl. It represents going into the eclipse. This is going into the tomb. It's going into the state of death. It's going into. This is why he dies in this in the helicopter crash, and also the helicopter is essentially dead here on the ground as well, with the Virgin Mary colours. Okay, so both man and the Virgin Mary, okay, this is, this thing's the dove from above right now, and it's crashed and it's dead. That thing dying is the symbolism of going into the eclipse. It's going into that state of death. It's going into the banking system, into the bank. The bank is the dam that contains the water. The water is the money. It is the energy. It is the time of people. Yeah, it is people that are trapped, man that is trapped inside that system, the matrix. Okay, so the birth of the matrix is the death of the man. Yeah, it's the death of Mary, the mother. Okay, so that's what's going on here. So obviously, at Easter, or if we were looking at Easter, or if we were looking with blah, 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 what am I thinking here? Let's just stick with Easter for now. I was thinking Lazarus as well, but it could be a 4-day thing. But with Easter, we're looking at, if this was the 19th, we'll have one day in the middle, the 20th, and then we're going the 21st. Could possibly also be the 22nd if it's a Lazarus thing. And I'm going to do a video after this one about all these upcoming dates. We'll touch back on the 18th and the 19th, the 21st, and the 22nd, because they're all super duper interesting dates right now. There's a lot of people that have mentioned these are dates to be watching. There's a lot of people that have been putting out videos about these dates just recently. So it's really interesting stuff. In fact, I caught a video by Cody, and he was talking about the Hoover Dam. It's getting a few mentions, and it was an interesting thing that he was talking about it getting mentioned in an ESPN game. Can't remember the teams. But if I get a minute, I might look back into that. But it was mentioned the Hoover Dam broke, and I think that may have been on the 18th. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, or it may have even been on the 19th, and he did that when he did that video. But anyway, getting sidetracked, and I don't want to make this long. Okay, so the Iranian president has gone to open this dam on the border, no less, just like the Hoover Dam is on the border, and we have Madonna with her Borderline song. Let's look at the guy first, right? So his name is Ibrahim. I'm just going to say Razi, Razi or Razi. Okay, but look, if you just put the N and the G, it's raising. Okay, so this idea of raising. Now, why this is interesting with this name, right? Let's just highlight this. Now, just look at this, right? Now, I'm going to play you a clip from the We Seek We Find video I talked about in my last video, and he in this video is predicting the 19th of May for a Donald Trump connection. Well, yes, this is a president as well, as is Donald Trump. As is, what's interesting about this dude as well is his birthday happens to be, come on, it's down here, happens to be the 14th of December, which is obviously the day of the year that Washington died on. So this connection back with Washington, okay, super duper interesting, on the $1 bill, and the dam that is formed by Washington's shoulders and his necktie is the water coming over the dam. Okay, so this is pretty interesting. We have a presidential connection with Washington, and obviously we have this dam connection because he was opening a dam on the day that he died. So this helicopter, so the helicopter crash, the dam, and everything else. But let's now look at this last name, and let's go to this video. Okay, this is the point where I'm just gonna play a small section of this, and you'll hear what's going on. This is the point when we cut back to Marty doing his in this video anyway. They're gonna We Seek We Find is going to cut back to Marty doing his final jump back home. Okay, so it's just interesting that there's points in here with the do not open until 1985. These are all numbers that surround that dam fold. Okay, and we've got the 19.5 and the 18.5 in here, and We Seek points this out, the 19.5. But those are numbers that are right around that dam fold with Washington, okay, on the dollar bill. And I don't really need to, let's see if we can go forward just a hair bit more. So we don't really need to be listening to all of this. Do not open, like do not open the dam until, as We Seek We Finds, 19.5, pick out of there. Now, right here, this is when Marty's just making the leap back, okay? And just listen and then look at the bench. I know that everybody else that watches this channel has already thought about this already, and has already thought, oh, you know where that is? It's in Back to the Future. So hopefully you got that. I let it play a little longer because my computer is just absolutely a piece of junk. And if I could go back a bit, I should have stopped it just a hair bit earlier. But you can see on the bench here we have RAIS, and then we have some more letters here. But we were just picking. I was just going to pick out this one top of this letter here, which you could make that I in there, okay? So we can get this guy's sort of last name there on the bench as Marty makes this final leap home. Pretty interesting stuff, okay? So definitely, the next couple of days as well, you know, that could be part of the early ritual. And you know, I'm just wondering, you know, this maybe could lead into something, could be completely sort of unrelated, or something could come of it, you know. If you know what I mean. There could be a story um, come out of this story, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. I didn't really want to do a long video. The only other thing to note is a few little bits and bobs uh, with the gematria. Here's the river, the Aras River, 111. Okay, 48. Wow, super duper interesting. Again, 132. Yeah, we're a digit before 133, which is pretty interesting. I'll talk about it with these next numbers coming up. But that is kind of interesting with the idea of being one day before 133, which connects back to Easter this year. What else do we have? This was the area Vazaquan. I don't know, but anyway, it was 100, and I'll tell you why that's interesting, because when we look at this dude's name, the 112, okay, with the Virgin Mary that was dead in the iPet goat, the Virgin Mary, the Black Madonna. So that's the dead Virgin Mary, and with the dead Jesus. So this is this dude with the helicopter connecting back to Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, those two, that symbolism with him dead and the helicopter dead is pretty much the same symbolism as the Virgin Mary dying with the baby Jesus dead as well. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. If you go 100 days from 112, this was only interesting because I'd already done this prior to this thing, so I'd already seen this number jump. Because from 211 through to 521, which would be our, you know, 19th, 20th, and the 21st, this would be our resurrection day, is 100, as in 100 pennies in a dollar. Okay, as in completion. So that's pretty. I thought that was pretty fairly interesting. On that one. Also, look at this. The 212 here just so happens that I've got it up here somewhere. Where is it? Where's that bloody? Let's see. The helicopter itself happened to be a Bell 212. The gematria people will go crazy on that one. What else did I have for him? Probably missed a bunch of stuff here. This is a pretty sloppy decode. You know, we've got a connection there. There's a connection to the Hoover Dam there with the 114 in his full name, and then we've got 48 in here again, which is 408, that's pretty interesting as well with that balance point, with the 4-8 balance point, and the eclipse again, and this idea of this is what is going on here. He's going into the eclipse, and he has the 4-8 in his gematria. And again, the 114, you can tie that back to the Hoover Dam with the Hoover Dam coordinates. Not to mention that ties into a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And then we've got the full Gizzy Galassi. And here's the 215. Yeah, I thought this was interesting because the 21st of May here again. I'm going to be talking about it in another video, but you know, like tonight into tomorrow is pretty interesting, and also the 21st into the 22nd is really, really interesting for Hoover Dam stuff. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. How many more times can I say it's pretty interesting? All right, I'll call it there. Thanks for watching. Yeah, another one that's in Back to the Future. Pretty cool stuff. All right, cheers, bye.